Hello everyone, and welcome back to Real Horror, where we dive deep into the stories that keep you up at night, the cases that demand answers, and the truths hiding in plain sight. Today, we're returning to one of the most haunting disappearances of 2026, the case of Nancy Guthrie, the 84-year-old mother of NBC's Today Show co-host Savannah Guthrie. Just when it felt like the investigation might be hitting a wall, new developments have emerged that are forcing everyone, from local detectives to federal agents, to re-examine everything they thought they knew. If you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications for updates. Things are heating up again in the desert around Nancy's home and her daughter Annie's residence. A former Border Patrol agent and longtime law enforcement veteran who's lived in this area for over 20 years was recently connected. He knows the terrain like the back of his hand, the washes, the rock formations, the hidden paths that aren't on any tourist map. He took out time into the desert near Annie Guthrie's house, and what he observed on the ground matches reports that have been circulating. On a recent day, two law enforcement agents arrived at Annie's house in a gray SUV. They weren't there long, but what they did inside raised eyebrows. They entered wearing latex gloves, and when they came out, they were carrying a brown paper bag. Moments later, still gloved, they went to the mailbox and retrieved the mail. This wasn't a casual visit. It looked like evidence collection. Careful, methodical, preserving potential traces. Why Annie's house specifically? Nancy had been there the night before she disappeared. Could there be a connection? Family members have been cooperative, but these visits suggest investigators are expanding their focus beyond Nancy's primary residence. Meanwhile, the FBI has announced expanded ground searches along roadways in the Catalina foothills, the area surrounding both Nancy's and Annie's homes. They're looking for anything that might have been discarded, perhaps thrown from a vehicle window in a moment of haste. The backpack, gloves, tactical items, these are the kinds of things perpetrators sometimes ditch to lighten their load or avoid linking back to them. The desert here is vast, beautiful on the surface, but unforgiving. It's full of arroyos, dense vegetation, and blind spots that could hide evidence for months or even years. Not all secrets stay buried forever. Some wait for the right moment, the right eyes to be uncovered. And right now, the Arizona desert seems to be whispering or maybe shouting new clues. Independent investigator and on-the-ground reporter Brian Entin, who's been hiking these hills for weeks, recently reacted to a discovery that no one saw coming. Using high-resolution, ground-penetrating radar, a professional search team located a strange object in a secluded stream bed. This isn't just any spot. It's about 4.5 miles from the Guthrie family properties, tucked behind a natural rock formation that shields it from aerial views. You don't stumble upon this place by accident. You have to know exactly where to go. Entin described the scene as deliberately disturbed, not natural erosion, but patterns in the soil that suggest human activity, a tactical hiding spot. Pieces of black tactical tape were found, along with signs that something had been intentionally concealed or discarded. We've hiked this area multiple times, Entin noted, but when federal agents zeroed in on this exact location, it changed the game. This wasn't random. It points to someone with knowledge of the terrain, someone who planned an escape or dump route in advance. Imagine it. An 84-year-old woman taken from her secure home in the middle of the night, no struggle heard by neighbors, no immediate digital trail, and now evidence suggesting the perpetrator didn't just grab and run. They had a plan that involved the desert as more than a backdrop. It was part of the strategy. Let's break down what this could mean. The disturbed soil and tactical tape aren't everyday trash. Black tactical tape is often used in operations where stealth matters, securing items quietly, bundling, or even temporary repairs on gear.
Combined with the location's isolation, it raises the possibility of a dumping ground, a place where identifiable items are left behind so the suspect can change appearance, switch vehicles, or simply disappear into the vastness. The FBI isn't commenting publicly on every detail, but sources close to the investigation indicate they're treating this as potentially linked to the abduction. Ground-penetrating radar doesn't lie when it picks up anomalies in soil compaction, and in a case this high-profile, with Savannah Guthrie and her siblings publicly pleading for information, every lead is being pursued with intensity. But here's what truly sends a chill through the community and online sleuths following the case: the proximity to previously identified blind spots in surveillance coverage, gaps in camera networks, areas where cell service can be spotty, routes that allow movement without easy detection. If the perpetrator used this stream bed, it suggests they didn't flee immediately. They might have waited, watched, even monitored the initial search efforts. That level of boldness or calculation is terrifying. Anton put it perfectly: the desert is no longer silent, it's starting to reveal its secrets, and with each piece uncovered, the picture shifts from a possible wandering incident, which was briefly considered early on, to something far more sinister: a deliberate, planned abduction. Let's talk about the items that could crack this wide open. Reports mention an Ozark Trail hiking boot recovered or associated with the scene. Ozark Trail is a budget-friendly brand sold widely at Walmart, mass-produced, common, intentionally chosen perhaps because it blends in with thousands of similar purchases, not a unique designer item that could be traced easily. The same goes for the black tactical tape, everyday gear, but in this context, part of a kit assembled for one specific night. Investigators are now combing through Walmart transaction records from locations around Tucson, especially those near Cortaro Road or other spots close to the foothills. Did the suspect pay with cash, use a gift card, anonymous methods, or did they slip up and leave a digital or financial breadcrumb? Purchases of a backpack, boots, tape, maybe even a holster or other items days before February 1st, if confirmed, that would show premeditation, not impulse. This isn't the behavior of someone panicking. This is logistics, buying disposable gear specifically to use and discard, understanding that forensics can link fibers, DNA, or purchase histories. It's the mark of someone who has thought several steps ahead. And then there's the signal jammer theory, which has gained serious traction. Remember those simultaneous disruptions? The doorbell camera at 1:47 a.m., the pacemaker signal loss at 2:28 a.m., and the Wi-Fi issues? A high-powered Wi-Fi and cellular jammer could explain it all. These devices, while illegal for civilian use in the U.S., are available on black markets. They create a localized blackout, blocking signals from security systems, phones, even medical alerts from reaching the cloud or emergency services. In Nancy's case, her pacemaker was supposed to provide a safety net. When it went offline exactly when the suspected intrusion happened, it wasn't likely a coincidence or battery failure. Forensic teams are now examining hardware that might match this description. If it's a jammer, it means the perpetrator didn't just disable one camera, they engineered a temporary dead zone around the entire property and possibly neighboring homes. Residents in the area did report odd connection issues that night. Cyber experts with the FBI are dissecting the device's components for serial numbers, manufacturing traces, or even custom modifications. Was it off the shelf or built by someone with electronics knowledge? This elevates the suspect profile from a common burglar to someone with technical savvy, perhaps experience in surveillance countermeasures or tactical operations. From the hillside where some items were found, there's a direct line of sight into the Guthrie backyard, unobstructed, a perfect vantage point for long-term observation. Was Nancy or the family being watched for days or weeks prior to vanishing? The masked figure at the porch at 1:47 a.m., could this have been a deliberate diversion? While attention was pulled forward, the real access might have occurred at the back, where the door was later found propped open with a flower pot. Not a violent breach that would leave obvious damage or trigger louder alarms, but a quiet entry once the digital blackout was in action. This kind of two-pronged tactic teaches in certain tactical training scenarios: create a distraction, exploit the blind spot. It suggests planning that went beyond a single night. To be sure, emphasizing the evidence and following the leads is the best approach to understanding this case.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to Real Horror, where we dive deep into the stories that keep you up at night, the cases that demand answers, and the truths hiding in plain sight. Today, we're returning to one of the most haunting disappearances of 2026, the case of Nancy Guthrie, the 84-year-old mother of NBC's Today Show co-host Savannah Guthrie. Background in electronics, security, or even former military or law enforcement training. The choice of Ozark trail gear adds another layer. Walmart sells thousands of these affordable hiking boots, backpacks, and related items every week. By opting for mass-market, unremarkable brands, the perpetrator minimized the risk of unique identifiers. No custom engravings, no rare colors that stand out in transaction logs. But that strategy has a potential flaw. Volume works both ways. Investigators are cross-referencing purchases from Tucson area Walmarts in the days leading up to February 1st. A backpack, boots, rolls of black tactical tape, maybe a holster, bought as a kit. If paid for with cash or a prepaid card, it stays anonymous. But one slip, a loyalty card, a store camera capturing a face, or a vehicle in the parking lot, and the trail opens up. From the elevated position near the discovery site, there's that unobstructed view into the Guthrie backyard. Hours, even days of surveillance would have been possible without drawing attention, especially in a neighborhood that values privacy and dark skies. The masked figure at 1:47 a.m. tampering with the front doorbell camera. Could this have been a deliberate diversion? While attention was pulled forward, the real access might have occurred at the back, where the door was later found propped open with a flower pot. Not a violent breach that would leave obvious damage or trigger louder alarms, but a quiet entry once the digital blackout was in effect. This kind of two-pronged tactic is taught in certain tactical training scenarios. Create a distraction, exploit the blind spot. It suggests planning that went beyond a single night. Now, the desert itself. The Catalina foothills and surrounding areas aren't just scenic backdrops. They're a rugged landscape of rocky outcrops, dry stream beds, arroyos, dense scrub, and limited roads. Flash floods can reshape the terrain quickly, but in dry conditions, disturbed soil patterns stand out to trained eyes and ground-penetrating radar. The fact that federal agents converged on this specific secluded spot after weeks of hiking by independent investigators like Brian Entin isn't coincidence. It implies tips, data analysis, or patterns from the initial response that narrowed the focus. Black tactical tape fragments and soil disturbances hint at someone who knew how to move quietly and conceal activity, perhaps using the natural rock formations to shield from aerial drones or helicopter searches that dominated the early days. This leads to one of the most debated theories, the border connection and possible movement into Sonora, Mexico. The terrain behind the Guthrie properties includes washes that have historically been used for covert crossings. No immediate phone pings from Nancy's devices, which were left behind anyway. No clear border camera hits. If transport happened south, it would have required precise timing and local knowledge. Ransom-style notes sent to media outlets added fuel, some claiming Nancy was dead, others insisting she was alive and seen across the border. These messages created confusion, potentially diverting resources southward, while the real evidence remained closer to home in the desert. Are these notes from the perpetrator playing psychological games, or from opportunists hoping to claim part of the $1.1 million reward? The Guthrie family has offered substantial private rewards for credible information, leading to Nancy's safe return.
In high-profile cases, false tips and hoax communications are common, but they still force investigators to chase them down, slowing momentum on physical evidence. Former law enforcement sources have noted that the contradictions in the notes, dead versus alive, local versus international, could be intentional misdirection. Let's talk about the family at the heart of this. Nancy Guthrie, 84, described as mentally sharp, independent, and deeply involved in her church community. She had dinner with her daughter Annie and son-in-law Tommaso Cioni the night before vanishing, a normal family evening that turned into the last known contact. Her other children, Savannah and Cameron, have been thrust into a public nightmare while grieving privately. Savannah, co-host of NBC's Today Show, has shown remarkable strength, returning to the anchor desk even as the search continues. In emotional interviews and statements, she and her siblings have pleaded directly to the Tucson community. Someone knows something. It's possible a member of this community has information that they do not even realize is significant. They've spoken of the back doors found propped open, the disbelief at arriving at the house, and their unwavering belief that Nancy is still alive and can come home. Savannah has openly shared moments of self-blame and uncertainty, highlighting how this case has affected not just one family, but an entire network of loved ones and viewers who feel connected through her public role. The $1.1 million reward reflects their determination, money set aside not for closure alone, but for actionable tips that bring Nancy back safely. Public appeals, including Savannah reposting images of the masked suspect, keep the case in the national spotlight, which can be a double-edged sword. It generates tips, but also attracts noise. The human cost extends beyond the immediate family. Tucson has dozens of other missing persons cases, some long cold. Nancy's high-profile disappearance has spotlighted broader issues: how resources get allocated, the challenges of searching vast desert areas, and the emotional toll on communities when an elderly resident vanishes without trace. Volunteers have joined searches, neighbors have installed extra cameras, and the conversation around elder safety in secure-looking suburbs has intensified. Forensic advancements offer real hope here. Unidentified DNA from inside the Guthrie home, mixed samples that didn't hit criminal databases immediately, is being scrutinized. The lining of a recovered boot might yield clearer contact DNA, as skin cells and sweat can adhere better than on hard surfaces. Even partial profiles can be fed into investigative genetic genealogy databases, where public family trees and consumer DNA tests help build relationships. Experts have successfully solved decades-old cases this way by identifying distant relatives and working inward. A suspect might evade cameras and erase digital footprints, but they can't change their biology. That said, challenges remain. Early hours of the investigation faced criticism. The initial response reportedly leaned toward a wandering theory for an elderly woman, potentially delaying aggressive abduction protocols. An inexperienced supervisor on scene, according to some reports, might have meant critical evidence, footprints, fibers, or digital logs, wasn't preserved as meticulously as in a full-scale kidnapping from the start. Desert winds, wildlife, and weather can degrade traces quickly. Independent voices, including on-the-ground reporters, have questioned whether those first 48 hours allowed the perpetrator extra time to dispose of items or create distance. The Pima County Sheriff's Office, working alongside the FBI, has faced internal and external pressure. Tensions between local handling and federal involvement are not uncommon in high-profile cases, but the focus must stay on evidence, the tactical tape, the potential jammer components being analyzed for serial numbers or custom builds, vehicle sightings, and neighborhood canvassing that continues even now. Comparisons to other cases come to mind. Think of high-profile abductions involving elderly victims or calculated home intrusions with technical elements, cases where jammers or diversions were used, or desert disappearances where terrain hid evidence for weeks until a lucky find or radar scan. What stands out in Nancy's case is the combination: medical device disruption, precise timing, disposable gear purchased specifically, and a dump site that feels professional. This doesn't scream amateur. It suggests someone who studied the target's routine, the home's vulnerabilities, despite appearing secure, and escape options. Psychologically, what drives such a crime? Profilers often look at motives like financial gain, ransom demands, personal grudge, or opportunistic exploitation of vulnerability. The note sent
The note sent to media could indicate a desire for control or attention. If the perpetrator is still in the area, as the calculated dump site and vantage point suggest, they might be monitoring developments, feeling the pressure as clues accumulate. The sheriff has publicly stated belief in a known motive, though no suspect name has emerged. That alone keeps the case active and dangerous. As of April 2026, more than 2 months in, Nancy remains missing. No arrests, no confirmed location, but the pieces are moving. FBI ground searches along roadways looking for items tossed from vehicles, continued analysis of the desert finds, expanded scrutiny of Annie's house and surrounding areas, including mail and potential secondary scenes, and public appeals keeping tips flowing. The desert isn't infinite. Each recovered fragment, boot, tape, soil anomaly, pulls the digital ghost into sharper focus. What happens next? More forensic processing, potential vehicle tracking from thousands of sightings, deeper genealogy work, and possibly renewed searches as weather improves. Public vigilance matters. Neighbors noticing unusual activity in the foothills, store employees recalling specific purchases, anyone with dash cam or private camera footage from that night. Tips don't have to be dramatic. Sometimes the smallest detail connects the dots. This case reminds us why persistence in true crime coverage and community awareness is vital. It doesn't fade because weeks pass. Families like the Guthries live with daily uncertainty, hoping the next lead is the one. We owe it to Nancy, a mother, grandmother, active community member, to keep asking questions, examining evidence, and refusing to let silence win. These stories are heavy, but shining light on them can make a difference. If you have information about Nancy Guthrie's disappearance, contact the Pima County Sheriff's Office or the FBI tip line immediately. Rewards are available for credible leads. What are your thoughts on these latest developments, the desert discoveries, the possible technical sophistication, or the family's strength? Share respectfully in the comments below. Do you think the border angle is a distraction, or could it hold real weight? Have similar cases in your area shown how small clues eventually break through? The notes sent to media could indicate a desire for control or attention. If the perpetrator is still in the area, as the calculated dump site and vantage point suggest, they might be monitoring developments, feeling the pressure as clues accumulate. The sheriff has publicly stated belief in a known motive, though no suspect name has emerged. That alone keeps the case active and dangerous. As of April 2026, more than 2 months in, Nancy remains missing. No arrests, no confirmed location, but the pieces are moving. FBI ground searches along roadways looking for items tossed from vehicles, continued analysis of the desert finds, expanded scrutiny of Annie's house and surrounding areas, including mail and potential secondary scenes, and public appeals keeping